What's going on, gents? How y'all doing today? Happy hump day. Listen, I wish I could say I was a part of hump day, but I actually slept in today, right? So I don't know what it's been like. Every time I'm tired and then I kick another gear and then it takes a while for me to go to bed. But happy hump day to you guys. Hopefully y'all day went well today. I am glad to be here with you today on live stream number 14 of the Sensational Gent. So let's see who we got here. Hi, Karen, if you're still there. Hey, Aaron, there's no way you're in here, huh? Oh my God. What's going on? Oh my God. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in a while. And I've been a little busy, so I'm glad to see you in here. So yeah, I'm at live stream number 14. So here I am, been doing this for a minute. And Um, right. Oh, Karen's still here too. Okay, good seeing y'all here. And but yeah, I've been now doing this for a minute. I'm starting to kind of get the flow and everything like that. So, man, so this is my sister right here, Erin. Haven't talked to her in a minute. Oh my God, I'm just so happy to see you here. But you'll see what we're about here in a second. And of course, I have my good friend Karen from the House of Chill. So she has a real chill live stream with which they do late, which I like, but usually like that's when I do my work. So or I'm usually busy or out. So I try to catch it when I can, Karen, but I love what's going on. Oh, we have another friend in the house. We have Brick Girls Go Stateside. How you doing? Hello, hello. Good seeing you here. Right. And then sorry, let me read this real quick. Aaron's like, it's been a hot minute. Yes, it has been. Do y'all hear me okay? I never really have it's not like I have a sound person that works for me that could do the audio check. Y'all have it? Y'all, no, seriously, Karen, I appreciate your channel and everything. And, it's like, it is a good spot for people to come there and to talk and just to listen to some music. And those guys that you have on there that actually do the live music is really cool what they do and to share their ability with everybody and stuff like that. So loud and clear. All right, sounds good. So I make sure there wasn't no echo or anything like that, any reverberations. Okay, so I got my headphones in that little jack just to make sure that wasn't happening. So listen, without further ado, let me get into some TSG news, if you will, right? So I want to thank everybody who watched the last video I did. If you're watching this as a pre-recorded show, so I did. Any of y'all watch that show called Squid Game? Any of y'all watch that? Let me know down in the chat if y'all watching Squid Game. Are y'all in there? Are y'all a part of this Netflix craze? Like literally the Squid Game is like the #1 show like around the world. Like this ain't just it's a Netflix #1. I'm talking about like everybody's watching this stupid thing, right? And I kept seeing memes on TV. I mean on Instagram and stuff like that, where people were talking about they had this little girl or whatever, like a doll or something. And let's see. Hold on. Let me get some of these. Aaron says, no, I see everyone talking about it. Aaron, if you have not seen Squid Game, like, just watch the first episode and you're going to be binging it. So I'm going to tell you a little story about Squid Game. I was getting to that. And then we're going to, Brick Girls Go Stateside. Yes, Squid Game was mad. Oh, my God. So what was crazy about Squid Game for me? Hold on, before I get there. Okay, understand all. Okay, I got you. All right, I got you. So Flowers, Eggs, and Yeast is doing another call and stuff like that. They have no sound because they're doing another call, but I appreciate it. Thank you for the view, and that will still help, or whatever, right? But I got to talk about this Squid Game thing, okay? I know this is normally the intro section where I talk about a lot of stuff before I get on topic, but if you have not watched Squid Game, it will fascinate you from the very beginning. I mean, like actually the first 2 episodes are kind of actually slow, but when it picks up, oh my God, you like, how could this show just be this crazy? You see what I'm saying? And I think it has like voiceover because it looks like look like it's voiced over. You know what I mean? Because it's like Korean, whatever, right? So if any of you guys, so Aaron says, John and I will have to check it out this weekend. Yes, please do. And then after you check out Squid Game, I did a parody on my channel. I did a comedy sketch, which I haven't done in a while about Squid Game, right? And I just thought it was funny. I mean, like, okay, let y'all know there's something wrong there. Every time like I watch horror, I go ahead, I gotta laugh. I'm like, I almost get shh out the theater. You know, people like shh, right? That's me. Cause I can't watch it. Like I think horror is funny now. And I mean the last horror movie that kind of got to me, made me have the chills. And this was like back in 2007 or whatever, 2006. I was in New York, so I think it was 2006. And it was a movie called Dead Silence. And it's about these ventriloquist dolls, right? And this old lady that used to control these dolls. Now, let me tell you something. I think we can mostly agree. Movies about dolls are pretty goddamn creepy. Can we agree on that somewhere in there? Huh? Aaron says everyone says you have to get through the first two episodes, then it's really good. Absolutely. That's exactly it. You do have to kind of now look, don't get me wrong. There's an exciting point in episode 1 or 2 or something like that, but you definitely have to get through the first two. Once you get through the first two, then it starts to, pretty much move. So when I started watching Squid Game, I think I watched the first episode, and after the end of the first episode, I was so captivated by this show, all right, that I had an idea for a sketch. And like right now, sketches are coming a little bit harder because I want to make sure that I want to make sure the timing is good, that it's funny and stuff like that. And I saw that first episode, and the first thing I did was ran to my computer, and I'm like, right? I'm like, I have an idea for a sketch. And that's how I have the sketch that I put out on the other day on Monday, right? Because I just said, man, and I have a whole bunch more in my head. So right now, I was going to say if I got to 75 views on that sketch, I would do another one. I don't think I'm going to wait. If you look at the view curve on that sketch, it has 60% at least at a minimum. The lowest it ever dips below is 60% watching. So 60% of the people are still watching that video all the way to the very end. All right. So that bar is straight. Like it dips down a little bit, but then it just stays straight. So that tells me that whatever I did in that sketch, y'all watching to the end. So I appreciate that. I know a lot of that is people that already support me, but I've seen some of the graphs of stuff that you guys have watched of mine, and it don't always stay that flat. Okay. So I'm just saying that I have a couple other ideas. If you guys are a fan of Squid Game, I have a couple more sketch ideas because I think right now it's hilarious to me. I mean, it's captivating. It's very intriguing. And there's also a lot of hidden meaning in there that you have to look for that I think it's going to take another watch. But after I wrote that script, I was going to just watch a couple more episodes because it was starting to get morning time. I binged the whole season that morning. I didn't go to bed till like 10 a.m. or something like that. All right, let me get back to these comments here. Big Girls Go Stateside says, I heard the British voiceover changed the story a lot compared to the original Korean script. Could the original have been crazier still? Yeah, I know that. I didn't know that the voiceover changed something that were hidden because that could mean something else, right? Like, what if there's something that they didn't want us to hear or like a translation that, that they didn't want us to get? Because again, there's a lot of hidden meaning and symbolism hidden behind that show, right? For society at large today. And it's good that I bring it up because it kind of goes in line with the topic, right? Karen says, oh yeah. Hopefully that means you watching Squid Game too there, Karen. And then, Lucy says, meant to say English voiceover, not British. Been working on channel stuff and British is in my head. Oh, yeah, I know. That's all good. So if you haven't, again, if you're new to this channel, if you're watching this pre-recorded video, I want you guys to know they have some really good channels that are here in the chat. So please check them out. Brit Girls Go Stateside has an amazing channel in which, they talk about different comparisons of things with British culture and American culture, along with giving us their stories, their takes, their opinions on different products and ideas. And I will tell you that you will not be disappointed watching that channel. And then you also have Karen M from the House of Chill. Go check that channel out. That she has a wonderful show that they do. It's a little later, but they have live music, just chats about different things. When they say House of Chill, it really is a house of chill. If you're not doing anything, you just want to kind of relax, lay out, talk to a couple people online, whatever, while live music is being played. Karen's House of Chill is where you want to be at. And then we have Flowers, Eggs, and Yeast. Who, let me see if I can get in there and find something I can. All right, yeah, we got Flowers, Eggs, and Yeast. Oh my God, their channel is just completely lovely. I think that Brick Girls Go Stateside will agree on that one, where they're doing all types of cooking, and then you have Buzz with your cuz with Cam, and then Teresa is making some of the most scrumptious and delicates, right, that you could ever see. It is so beautiful what they create and what they do and just the way they talk. And then, what I love is that everybody here that I've already talked about their channel is just really amazing people. So if you don't have a subscription to those channels yet, make sure you get there. And I think I just seen my boy, Neil. I have a story to tell, right? Hey, brother, what's going on? Good seeing you. I'm glad you made it and everything like that. I'm glad you made it. Don't matter if you late, brother, you here, and that's what matters. Neil, I have a story to tell. This is my brother right here. He has some good stuff on his channel. Go ahead, check him out. He goes ahead and put out a lot of positive and motivational messages, along with what he's also trying to start is his money makers, where he talks about everything that's gig economy and how you can navigate the gig economy so that you can obviously make money and stuff like that. Okay, so is that all the people we have in there right now? Okay, if you come to the chat and you say something, then I'm gonna go ahead and shout you out. So make sure that you go ahead and make yourself known that you are here. Okay, people. I was gonna make some tea. I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I probably shouldn't do that, but I was gonna make some tea, but my hot water was out for a second. So, anyway, let's get to. Oh, anyway, I want to finish the conversation I was saying about the about Squid Game. Okay, like this thing is just amazing. Okay, I don't even know what to say about it. Right. I will say hang with it for the first 2 episodes, but I do have more ideas in my head about how we can take Squid Game and take that thing to the next level. Okay, so I really, really, really appreciate everybody being here today. So I want to just give a couple other notes. So if y'all might watch, look, check this out. I have my Living My Best Life sweatshirt on. As you can see, it's a little warm in here for that, right? So, but I wanted to wear it today, right? And then on the back, right, you got subscribe and then at TheSimsationalGent. Now, I had made an error on this one, so I went to correct the error, and then I already sent for the samples for this, and so it's misspelled on the back. There's an additional A in there, right? So what I want, so if you go buy it, it's spelled correctly now. I changed all that. There's also women's t-shirts and stuff like that. I'm going to link that down in the description after this video. So I hope you guys check that out. Again, you can just look at it and see what you like. I plan to have more merchandise available. I would like to do some coffee cups and stuff like that. The other thing I want you guys to check out is if you need a good fitness channel, I have a second channel called Sensational Fitness and Wellness. And, I got to say that the numbers don't bear it out, but the watching, the way people view that channel, I mean, I think the lowest percentage viewed is like 60% on that channel. It is doing really well, and I'm sorry that I only get like one video out a week, one video out every other week, but it's because I try to make sure that the quality of that video, of that channel, is of the highest. Because anybody who knows me, Aaron, you my sister, you know me, right? You know that I take fitness very seriously, and even if I'm just chilling in my fitness, I'm still usually in shape, right? So I take that very seriously, and also I want y'all to know something else about that channel. My approach isn't to make you some bodybuilder, I'm not trying to make you into a model. I'm not trying to look like The Rock anymore. Okay. I'm not trying to be that type of size. Okay, people. Right. I am not trying to do any of that. That is not the purpose of the sensational fitness and wellness. Sensational fitness and wellness is about one thing. It's about you taking the time for your health so that you can live your best life, right? So that you can have the energy and you can have the lifestyle that you want to have with health, right? Because we only have two things that we really have control of. I can say control of, but the two things that are most valuable in our existence is our time and our health. If you don't have time, you don't have health, then you can't live your life to the fullest. Will we agree on that one? Will we agree? So we have that. What else am I forgetting in news? Yeah, that's about it. Okay. So listen, we did the shout outs, whatever. So the first part of this topic I want to talk about is the past, right? When I say the past, like I remember growing up, I was a big fan of. There was a movie that you all might have heard of, and I'm not belittling you guys' intelligence. Please bear with me as I do this setup. I'm also trying to set up my there's something else I'm trying to set up in the background, so please do not take it that I'm doing that, okay? But what I want, like I used to love a movie. It is still one of my favorite movies of all time. And this movie is Back to the Future. Okay, that whole trilogy is probably one of the most fascinating movies I've ever seen. And so anybody who knows me would know that that's one of my favorite movies, along with I always recite and talk about the movie The Matrix, because I feel it's one of the most important movies of our time. And I'm also glad that there's going to be another, the fourth installment to The Matrix, because I think we need it. I think we need the wake up call. Okay, excuse me real quick, while I move something off the screen. Okay, so I think that we need the wake up call. I think the movie The Matrix always taps into, things that we need to know about society, and that's the kind of discussions that we have here on the sensational fitness, the Sensational Gent live stream. Okay, but Back to the Future was one of my favorite movies, and the reason why Back to the Future was one of my favorite movies is because time travel has always fascinated me. There's something about being able to go back in time and to maybe correct something or to see it, not even just to change anything, but just to be able to see it so that you have a real perspective, because there's most of us just believe what we're told about the past based on what's written and what's said. And the truth is that there's probably more nuance to what the past was than what we are led to believe. Would you all agree with that? Right? People that are larger than life, you find out were just regular people that did something great in a moment. And so what happens? The story becomes legend, right? Or, maybe somebody that was behind the scenes did more than they were given credit for, and yet we put someone else on the pedestal for something that someone else did. If we could go back in the past and observe those moments, we would maybe see that. Okay, and so that's why I find time travel so extraordinary. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. So Aaron said, John is here next to me. He said, what's up, bro? What's happening, bro? Hey, fist pump for my brother. Man, fist pump champion. How you doing, baby? How you doing now? All right. Let him know I said what's happening. And then Aaron says, we'll definitely check out the merch. I appreciate that. You can just take a look at it. It's not that big deal. I don't expect any of y'all to get any of that stuff. I just let you know it's there, and I plan for more to be out there. And then we just watched all three with Ariana. She loved them. Yes, absolutely. Because it just, Back to the Future was it's still to this day, you can still watch it, right? It's still pertinent. And it's funny to think that when I watched it, I was a little boy. And then here we are, right? Like 30 years into the future was October of 2015. And here we are now. We're almost at 2021. Like we are about to be at 2025. We're going to be 40 years into the future from where they were at. That is insane. Okay. And then Neil says, my favorite one was the first one. I agree with you, Neil. My favorite one was the first one as well. I think obviously that set the tone, and the part two actually was like the beginning where they saw the future. To me, that was probably one of my favorite parts in all of the trilogy, to see what the future should look like. And I'm disappointed because now I'm getting older, right? They ain't no hoverboards. Actually, there is technically a hoverboard. I don't know if y'all noticed, but they created a hoverboard. But the thing is, this hoverboard is huge, and it uses like magnet repulsion technology and stuff like that, and is over $10,000, which I think is more than that. Okay. And then Aaron confirmed it's Back to the Future. And then Neil says Matrix was game changing with sci-fi world. Absolutely. And that's why I'm excited for it to come back, because it not only was great with the sci-fi, but the story behind it is something that we could all learn from about today. And I'm glad we're talking about these movies. I specifically wanted to bring those up because time is the subject of today's show. Okay. And then Lucy says, I remember the first Matrix as being mind-blowing at the time, with such fascinating concept and wonderful special effects. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. It was actually revolutionary for its time, right? Like the Matrix actually did things that had never been done before. That view when Neo was doing his, limbo, and then the camera swirled around him, that had never been done before, the way they did it. Okay. And so now there's new technology that would make that movie even greater, that they didn't have 20 years ago when it came out. Actually, that movie came out in 1999, 22 years ago. Okay. So, so back to, so we were talking about so I'm bringing those movies up. I bring time travel up to talk about the past, how like those movies had an influence on me. When you look at movies that deal with time, okay, I want you guys to just visualize with me something. Every movie, whether it be a biopic or whatever, you're looking at somebody's life on a string of time, correct? Right? They kind of usually do a beginning, or they'll do flashbacks to the beginning of time, and then they'll kind of just show you present time flashbacks, or they'll just do a linear movie, which you don't see too many linear movies. Now most movies do flashbacks or recalls to a previous period of time that person was reminded of in a certain moment. I mean, that's the way you do it nowadays, right? Because it makes the story more captivating. The reason why I bring up looking at life on that string is because these movies all have something in common. And that's the same thing for life. All right. The same thing that we are fascinated about through these movies is the same thing that we can learn from life. And that is that usually everyone comes from some type of beginning. We all have our beginnings, and some people's beginnings are better or worse than others. That is a fact. The other thing is that you have usually everyone, if you live long enough, you will go through some sort of adversity. At some point in your existence, there's going to be trials and tribulations that come up against you. Look at any biopic, look at any time travel movie. There is some type of conflict. Do we all agree that we all go through conflict, right? So we all have that in common. And then there's a point, there's a fork in the road where you have an opportunity, right? Or these people in this movie have an opportunity to either change their existence for the better or for the worse. Okay. So here it is, a person may choose a fork on the road, and this fork on the road might take them to quote unquote success. But at the end, they wind up being a shell of themselves, because maybe that success was antithetical to who the best version of themselves they could be. Or maybe someone took the path that everyone else travels, and then at the end of their life, they didn't find life to be as rewarding as they suspected, because they didn't do something that would have changed their life and made it better. So what I'm trying to say is, you can look at any of these time travel movies, you can look at any of these biopics, you can look at any of these things, and all those things are common to everyone. So I want to bring that up because, I look back to my senior book. Again, I always reference this, and I know y'all probably tired of hearing about it, but you got to understand that I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to like embed an idea in your head. I went on some class trips when I was younger. All right. And sorry, I got to move that out of the way. So I went on some class trips when I was younger, and I had traveled outside of the state of Louisiana a few times when I was a kid. Now, not as much as some of my friends did and some of the other people I knew, but when I finally got a chance to leave where I was from and see other places, right? Take these road trips, see mountains for the first time. When I went to Tennessee, right? I went to anybody been to Lookout Mountain? So Lookout Mountain is in Georgia, and when you're on top of Lookout Mountain, there's like a periscope, and they point you in a direction, and you can see 7 states from where you're standing from Lookout Mountain. Okay, let me jump back in here real quick. Okay, you have Wanda in here. Hey, everyone. Hey, Miss Amici. So look, check it out, everybody. Check out Miss Amici and her channel, whatever. And on her channel, she shows you about her life, right? It's a vlog story of her life and what she's going through. And it's very relatable. I think you guys will like that channel. Make sure you check it out. And the stuff that she's doing. Hey, Wanda, thanks for being here. And then Neil says the multiverse, like in the comic, is a thing now. You know, if you want to, I don't want to get too deep in that yet. We could talk about multiverse theory because I think it's important to really look at life in those terms. We will talk about that because that's a part of this topic. But I wanted to tell you all, I had my early goals and ambitions. If you go ahead and look at my senior book, after having traveled, I wanted to see more of the world. Okay. And so what I didn't know is that what I wrote down at the age of 17 would influence my life all the way into the future, because I've always had it in my head that I wanted to travel and I want to see different places. And I got to say, I'm just getting started, but I would say that, you know, like right now, like I'm talking about just being in the States. I've been to 40 states, including I lived in Hawaii and I've been to Alaska a couple times, right? So I got those out the way. The other 10 states I haven't been to, I'll be honest with y'all guys, I'll be okay if I don't go to them. You know, like I'll be fine because some of them just don't have anything there, right? Maybe I'll make it eventually, but there's no rush. Now I'm ready to see international. But all these things I wrote down when I was younger. And so I'm very close to making that be a reality because I've been working hard to try to get there. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still like pains going on right now that I'm still dealing with, right? There's been a lot that's happened. And if you guys have watched any of my live streams recently, you know, I mean, I thought my car was stolen a month ago. Okay. My car was took in. They took it. Okay. It was tooketh. All right. It was gone. All right. Sayonara. Adios. It was out of here. Arrivederci. Okay. Thing was just out of here. So, you know, there's a lot of things I've been battling recently and a lot of situations I've had to deal with. But you know what? That doesn't stop the grind. That doesn't stop the hustle. That doesn't stop the dream. See, the dream continues. The goals continue no matter what's going on in your life. That's why you set the goals. But we'll talk about that here later. Okay, y'all talking amongst each other in the chat. Okay, cool. That's all good. I appreciate that. Okay. And then the last thing is we have to, when you look in the past, we have to look past the people, look past people, and we have to look past our mistakes. Okay. So, you know, we may have made mistakes with ourselves and certain things that we should have done or do. And we also have people in our past that were there that maybe we had to move past, or maybe they had to move past us, depends on where we were at in our journey, in our existence. Okay. And so, you know, it's real good. That's why, you know, I'm glad to see my sister Erin here, and I know John is there. That's why it's so great to see them, because even if we don't talk, I know that they love me and I love them. We've been through a lot. We have a lot of ups and downs together. And so I know that that's people that I have in my life, that I've had in my life for a very long time. And I'm very appreciative. Oh my God. I knew I forgot to do something, y'all. Excuse me 1 second. There is, my phone was like 15% battery power. And I brought this 10-foot cord on purpose so that I could charge this thing while doing my live stream. Oh, there we go. All right, we got power. All right, whew, that could have been bad. Could have been really bad. Okay. have the camera go out, that wouldn't have been so bad because I actually keep, check this out. I actually keep a spare camera just in case something like this happens. Again, check out the sweatshirt, okay? And then we'll go back to this view. But you gotta have backup, right? You gotta have a backup camera. I'm looking greasy as hell. I put like the skin stuff on my face, but hold on, yo. All right, that's enough. That's enough for this. All right, this was getting kind of warm. All right, there we go. Messed up my hat. I need a haircut real bad too, so I've been putting it off, but I'm gonna do it after today. So, okay, let's get back to the topic, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to. Aaron says, absolutely family for life. Absolutely, yes, we will be forever and for always. See what else I have. Neil says, yes, the mission must continue. That's right, man. So you got to keep your goals in mind. You got to keep, like again, pardon me. We're gonna talk about that here more once I go through this article. Wanda says you got a different look going on tonight. You look more relaxed. Yeah, honestly, thank you, Wanda. I appreciate that. I normally get kind of paranoid before I come on camera, right? And that's even when I'm about to film my own stuff. But honestly, it's kind of what I'm talking about. Not necessarily today. I've talked about this the past live stream, but y'all can't see it, right? But the reason why I'm a little more comfortable is because every night, or at least within a day or so, or at least the night before, I do these live streams. And I usually wait till the night before. And the reason why I wait till the night before is because sometimes that you might say, well, I was going to talk about this, but I want to change it up. Or maybe something popped up and you're like, yo, I want to bring this topic up in front of the audience, right, instead of this. And so by writing down an outline of what I want to talk about, first of all, it makes it very easy for me to edit it later and to cut it up so that I can use it for other videos later. And the other thing what it does is it keeps you on topic when you start to deviate, like kind of what I'm doing now. But but I don't mind. This is also a discussion, so I want to be able to talk with you guys. So this is live stream number 14. So like now I'm getting kind of comfortable. I'm just kind of talking with friends right now, and that's kind of what I want this to be. This is me talking about this topic. But I want you guys to involve yourself in this discussion because I do want to know what you guys think. I generally want this to be a conversation so that we can all get better together. We can share ideas and that we can learn from one another. And I think that's has served me well in life, learning from other people, right? Especially in what I used to do. All right, let's see what else got. That's right, Sean. If you stay steady, you don't have to get ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Okay. I thought you said if you stay steady, you don't have to get ready. See, I made that into a rhyme. You see that? Yeah. Eleanor is here. How you doing, Eleanor? Oh my God, great to see you. Right? And then Lucy says, hi, Eleanor, whatever. Okay. Okay, they are talking in the chat. All right, let's get back to this real quick. I'm trying to get to a point. So I brought up something here. Give me a second. I want to share my screen with you all. And let me make sure I get everything looking correct. How do you? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna share this screen here. Okay, I don't know why it does that, but whatever. Nope, I don't like that one either. All right, whatever. All right, let's go here. So I have so let me do this. Let me stop that cam. There we go. Okay. So I have this article right here, right? How thinking about the future makes life more meaningful. And listen, I know this don't seem like the most important topic in the world, but I think it is very important, okay? Because there's a lot of things going on right now, okay? There's a lot of things going on right now in our society, and I think that we need to really, I think if you're comfortable, you're not really looking at the bigger picture about time and what's going on, okay? There are people right now throughout this pandemic that are, there's just a lot going on. I don't really want to talk about the pandemic. I want to get into this because this is pertinent to the overall theme of what I'm trying to get to. And I hope you guys will will bear with me. So basically, this article is telling you that thinking about the future, right? There's things like some people don't like to think about the future. And let me tell you something. I was having panic attacks and anxiety attacks at the end of my time, or part of my time while I was in the military. And part of my anxiety attacks or my panic attacks were coming from thinking about the future. Okay. So there is a part of thinking about the future that can be negative. If you are an overthinker and you're thinking about the parts of the future that you can't control and it becomes overwhelming to you, then I had to start putting myself in the present again, because what happens is usually you get anxiety attacks from not being able to control something. Okay. Usually you're stressing on something or you're overthinking about something, which causes you that anxiety. So I usually tell people in those situations to, plan for the future, or remember the past and plan for the future. Okay. Because you can learn from the past, but you can't change it. Or sorry, you can't change the past, but you can learn from it. All right. You can't change the future, or you can't predict the future, but you can plan for it. So when you think in terms like that, it stops you from having those thoughts of being overwhelmed by the future. But if you don't think about your future, you're going to continue to make the same mistakes, and you're going to continue to find yourself in the same place. And that's what I don't want for you guys. And that's what I don't want for myself. So I had to make some changes. So I do think about the future all the time. All right. So it says it helps us make more prudent decisions. Well, that should make sense. All right. That should make total sense to you. Like, if you sit here and you have a bill due in like a few days and you don't plan or make provisions for the bill to be paid because you didn't think about the future, then guess what? You're going to be in debt. You're going to mess up your credit. You're going to, right? There's repercussions for not thinking about those things, for not planning for those things. Okay. So there's things in the future that you think about all the time. And as we are unique as mammals. There are other animals and stuff that actually think about the future too. Like there's ravens, and there's some other animals that can actually, save. Ravens save little things for later, and they use them as tools. They're very, very intelligent creatures. So there's only a few number of creatures that can think and plan ahead, right? And so we have that ability to be able to think and plan ahead. And so if we take the opportunity to have a plan, to have our goals set, that will allow us to basically navigate through some of the murky waters of life, if you will. See, I've always said this. When things start to break down in my life, what keeps me from just losing it? What just keeps me from going crazy? It's my Joker impression. It's the plan. It's the plan. Right. And if I didn't think ahead, you'd lose it. Okay. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. Oh, hey, Life with Kiki is here. Hey, how y'all doing? Check out Life with Kiki. You know what? She has some really good brands. She sells defensive like keychains, defensive items that you can have in your keychains. So ladies, if you get a chance, check out her channel, click on her link or find her channel. After this, she has a lot of good products that's easily concealed, that you can use to protect yourself if you find yourself in a situation where you're out and about and you need some help. So make sure you go check her out. Eleanor says, I am always thinking about my future. And that's good, Eleanor, as you should. I am super futuristic person, so I have more issues with being in the present. Well, you have to do both. You have to do all of it, actually, right? You have to plan for the future, but you have to live in the moment. Because some people live so far ahead into the future, they're like, okay, I got to do this or whatever. And then, like, let's say somebody like you that's in school, and then you're so focused on school, you're so focused on that process, and you grind, you work, you grind, you grind. But let's just say like it don't work out later. Now you've missed out on all that time, right? Like you should grind hard. There's going to be a period of time you got to grind hard for what you want. Okay. Don't get me wrong on that. But you also have to take a little time to stop and smell the roses along the way, because you don't know how much time you have. And we'll get to that later. Wanda says, I wish I could kick my younger self in the for not letting myself, for not setting myself up better. Maybe I would have to hustle as hard. Maybe I wouldn't have to hustle as hard as I do now. Wanda, keep that thought in mind because that is actually part of what I want to talk about. Karen says hi to Kiki. Okay. Oh, Lucy says I have to duck out, but thanks for doing these live streams, Sean. I really enjoyed them. Actually, thank you, Lucy, for being here. I really appreciate it more than you know, and I thank you so much. I really do. Okay. So look, we have to take that time to think ahead. We have to take that time to plan. If we don't take that time, we don't look ahead, we're only setting ourselves up for failure. And it's kind of what Wanda said, which we'll talk about here, where we're talking about the past still. So, well, actually, we're into the next section, the present. But so that goes into, that actually segue into, because I didn't put out this banner, the present. That's why we're going over this article right now, right? Because here in the present, we have the ability, okay, we messed up. We can't go back and change what we did before. So now it's even more important. What are we doing now? How are we thinking now? What steps are we taking now to set up our future selves? Okay, Wanda, you can kick yourself about what your past self didn't do, but what about your present self? Is your future self going to look at your present self and say, why didn't that person set me up? Do you understand what I'm saying? So just the way to look at it. Hold on, let me get back to the screen. Okay. And the second part goes into what I'm talking about, right? So the next thing it says that it motivates us to achieve our goals if we do it right. And that's kind of exactly what we were just saying, correct? That we just said that what are you going to do now to set up your future self, right? So so now in the present, you need to set the goals. Today, you need to set the goals. Not tomorrow, not the next day. Today is the day that you need to start planning for being ahead. You need to take today because you don't know how much time you have. Okay. So if there's a trip you want to take or a place you want to see or something you want to do or something in your life that you just really want to achieve, maybe it might be too late for some of those dreams. But it doesn't mean that at this time, at this stage of your life, that you can't come up with something new, some other dream that you've had. You've had more than one dream, okay? If you've been asleep, you've had more than one dream. Well, if you live life, you have more than one dream. You know, it's funny to me when people say they don't have any dreams. Then it's kind of like, well, what are you doing? And how are you living your life? That means you're just living your life moment to moment. And listen, living your life moment to moment is cool until you get old. And then you didn't do any planning, or you didn't do any thinking, or you didn't look ahead, or you didn't take it seriously enough. Right? What do you do then? What are you doing now? Okay. The next thing that's in this list, it improves psychological well-being. Oh, actually, y'all can't even see the screen yet. So it improves psychological well-being. I agree and I disagree on this, but she says, besides helping us make decisions and reach our goal, there's evidence that perspection may improve psychological health more generally. It might even help people who are struggling with depression and those who suffer or recovering from trauma. Okay. They said there's a link between poor perspection and certain psychological disorders such as depression. And listen, I can see part of that. Because some people are depressed because they don't really, they think about the future, but they don't really think about it, right? They don't see the brightness ahead in their life. See, they're, and you know, you can find yourself depressed, but you're depressed in the moment, right? Because if you saw a bright future for yourself, people that say, man, I'm going to make it big, okay? I know I'm going to make it big. I already know. I feel it. Well, people that have that type of mentality where they're pushing forward and like they see a bigger future for themselves, then they're usually very optimistic. Even when, think about it, even when bad stuff happens to those type of people, you see them push through. You see them pull through. And why is that? is because what they see coming ahead is bigger than what they're going through at the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's those moments that define those type of people and allow them to be their best selves. And so I told you, if you are suffering from anxiety because you're thinking too far ahead, then that's when it's time to pull back. Okay. And it's also time to make a plan based on what you're going through. If you're having, sorry, I feel like I got buzz on my nose. If you're having anxiety based upon thinking about the future, then I submit to you, then you probably don't have a plan. Because if you're stressing out about it, it means that you don't have a plan. And I have a simple way of combating that to help me with my stress and my anxiety. And what that was is I say a couple things. Can I do something about it? If the answer is yes, then what do you do about it? And you write all the things you can do about this said problem. And when you've done those things, and if you ask yourself the question again, is there something else you can do about it? If the answer is yes, you keep exhausting the possibilities until that yes turns into a completion or into a no. And then if you say there's something I can do about it, nope, then guess what? Don't stress on it. There's nothing you can do about it. You stressing isn't going to change that problem. It's that simple. However, is that, see how that introspection, looking ahead, is there something I can do about it? And you can solve problems, and you can solve certain types of depression and certain types of anxiety. Okay. And then the last thing that this article says is makes us more kind and generous. And so that one really is about, like, if you go ahead and put yourself in a situation where you're empathetic to others and you can visualize ahead on being empathetic, then you'll be most likely to be able to have a favorable outcome, or you'll be most likely to be more kind. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of that one. Let's go back to the chat. So Eleanor says, I am pushing hard now so I can do what I want in the future. This is why I'm planning to take longer on my degree to have time in the present. And you have to make that decision for you. You have to make that decision to figure out how you're going to balance your time with what you're trying to achieve. Sometimes it may be best for you to put your life, quote unquote, life on the back burner while you achieve a certain goal, if you know that it's going to be favorable to you in the future and to give you or allow you to live your best life, as we like to say on this channel. She said, my present self is taking action. And that's what we need to do. We need our present selves to take action to predict or to give us the favorable outcome for our future selves. All right. The other thing Eleanor says, I am focused on my healing so I can love again. So I have had to tell others I am not ready yet. Yes, I have hurt people along the way. However, I'm being honest with myself. And that's a whole nother topic. When we talk about time, it's like, and I want to get there for you guys that are in relationships and stuff. There's a part of this I want to talk to about you guys too, but we'll get there. Wanda says, I'm definitely living my present life like I have more years behind me than in front of me. I can honestly say now that my future self will be pleasantly satisfied. And that's good. And every day you should be making strides toward that, right? Set your plan, know what you want. No, look, actually, I like to do this little game. If you're at your end, right? Let's just say it's many years from now, and you're at your end, and you're laying on you're in your final moments. What would you want to look back and see on your life? Like what would be the outcome that you want to see on your life, right? And that kind of goes into the future. Okay, so think of your future self. Think of your future self in your last days. If you look back at your life, what is it that you want to see? What would make you say, you know what? I did all right. Or I'm satisfied with what, given the cards I was dealt, was I able to do the things I want to do? Was I able to affect the relationships I want to affect? Maybe you want to leave a legacy behind. Maybe you want to do big things that people know you for. Maybe you want to go off quietly in that sunset. Maybe you want to, maybe you just want to just go away peacefully. Whatever that is, whatever that goal, whatever you see for yourself, you need to be laying the foundations today to make that happen. You need to be doing the things that you need to do so that that outcome occurs at that point in your life. If you're not doing that, you're wasting time. If you're not doing that, you are wasting opportunity. If you are not doing that, then you're only screwing yourself over. And then when you look back at this point in time, you'll say, man, that goofy ass dude on the Sensational Gent was talking about this many years ago. Oh, Karen says, I apologize. I have to go. Thank you for amazing shout out and much love. Thank you, Karen, for being here. I appreciate it. I know it's getting late. And then Eleanor says, have a good night, Karen. Yep. And then Neil says, time management and planning is very important. Absolutely, my man. You and I talk about this all the time. And I'm grateful for my time in the military because it does help me to think and plan better than I would have had. Look, I've always been like successful in school, and everybody, my family and stuff would be like, oh, you're a smart kid and all that stuff. But in school, I was terrible with my time management. I was a procrastinator. I'm talking about like I lived on procrastination. And listen, sometimes I still do, right? But I do keep little things in place, like my phone has pop-ups and says, pay this bill today. My phone might tell me, hey, it's time to go to the gym. Every morning it tells me it's time for my Spanish lessons. So I do those things because I know inherently I think about them, but then like I get lost in time and I forget to do them. And so you have to be judicious with your time. You have to take time to be able to say that, look, I don't make the most. I'm not going to say I'm efficient with every moment of my time. I'm not going to tell you that. That'd be a lie. I like to chill. So I like to have freedom of schedule. I don't like to be too constrained. And I have my own schedule. That's the only thing. That's why like when I'm doing something, I'm doing it. Like, don't disturb me. I'm doing it at this time because like I plan it to be that way. See what I'm saying? If I'm doing something, I'm giving myself that time to do that. If I'm just chilling and doing nothing, I've given myself that time to chill. And so I think that we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, am I doing the most with the time, right? Let's go and see what else y'all saying in the chat. Hello, says, I want to see that I made a difference in the world. My goal in life now is to leave a legacy wherever I go. That's a great outcome. So again, now you have to ask yourself today, what am I doing today? What kind of things am I doing today? What else could I be doing today? What else could I be putting myself through today that would help me to have the outcome like that? Like what you discussed, to have the outcome in which you are doing what it is that will make you happy and successful. And listen, happiness is relative. I think you guys need to figure out happiness, like what true happiness is. If your happiness is based on, well, man, if I get that McLaren, if I get that Porsche, I'm going to be happy. If that's what your happiness is based on, that's not true happiness. If your happiness is based on what you own, that's not true happiness. Your happiness is based on having a lot of money, that's not true happiness. Then you're not looking at happiness. You're looking at possessing some things. Now listen, money won't make you happy, right? Obviously, though, money can be a tool to put you in position to be happy. So you also have to balance that. Neil says, yes, I have found myself putting things in my phone also. Yeah, man, you got to put yourself on a schedule. Now, we're getting to the end of the live stream, but I want to talk about something that Wanda said earlier. She said something about she wished she can go back and kick her younger self. All right? She wished she could tell that younger person, y'all remember that movie? What that movie is? Shawshank Redemption, okay? And you have the great and powerful Morgan Freeman talking about, I wish I could go back and talk to that younger fellow. Like when he was trying to get parole, y'all remember that part of the movie? Morgan Freeman was trying to get parole, and they said, well, are you sorry for what you did? He's like, well, yeah. He was like, whatever was left of that young dude, that dude is gone. And here sits this old man, right? But I wish I can go back and talk to that younger me, put some sense into him, let him know the way things really is, okay? I wish I could go talk to him so he'd know not to do that horrible thing he did a long time ago. But he ain't here. Only this old man remains, Okay, go ahead and watch that movie. It's a great movie. It's one of those movies that you're like, I'm only gonna watch a little bit of it, and you end up watching the whole movie. It is by far probably one of the best movies ever made in terms of you're looking at somebody's life on a string of time, right? That's what the Shawshank Redemption is. You're watching this period of time where Andy Dufresne, my friend, Andy Dufresne. Sorry. Y'all know that movie, right? If you haven't watched it, you got to go check out the Shawshank Redemption. Elo says, I am focused on finding places that I belong, places where I feel I can share my opinion. But here you go. You're right here. But anyway, let's get back to this point. In the Shawshank Redemption, you got to see everything I talked about earlier, going through adversity, right? Oh my God, my eyes look wet. Going through adversity, going through pain. And along the way, you had people. Am I frozen? Okay. And along the way, you had people that were there that are going to come through your life that are going to either positively or negatively impact your life. So even when they're in hell, because that's what it was being in that prison, that was hell. And we're all going through it right now here on earth, right? This is hell. Like, I don't care how well you think your life is going. This is not the way we should be living, right? I think that we could be at more peace. We can live in a society where people don't have to be hungry or live out in the streets and stuff like that. So we're in hell. Okay. When you're in hell, sometimes it's those people in your life and those relationships, those people that you come to love, those people you come to trust, those people you come to depend on that help get you through the tough times, that helps to put that hand out so that you can make it through, so that you know that you're not alone, so that you know that you can gain strength from them and they can gain strength from you. And some of us have more strength than others. So we have to be the shoulders for those that are weaker amongst us. I talked about that last week on last week's live stream, but that still rings out to be true. The reason why I say these things is because they are true. The reason why I bring these things up is because they are true. You can sit here and debate me all you want to, but if you look at what I said on the string or compare it, these are things that I have found to be common to everyone's life. It's common in most movies, right? All you guys have been through some type of adversity. All you guys are going to have to come to your crossroads and make choices. And when you look back, I look back sometimes, I look at some of the crossroads, the choices I've made, and I didn't, at the time I made my choices, but they led me down paths that made things harder for me. And sometimes you're going to make choices that is going to be like hard in the beginning, but it opens up roads where you're living your glorious and your best life. Okay. And so anyway, I want you guys to think about those things today. I want you guys to take along with you on your path, thinking about time and how you use your time. And are you making the most of your time? Are you doing everything you should so that you can have the most favorable outcome for you? Will the you in the future look back to you right now and said, hey, you did a good job. You got me to where we wanted to be. That all starts today. If you want to see that favorable future where you look back and you said, man, I am proud of the work that I've done. I'm proud of what I've done, the relationships I've made, the decisions I've made, then you have to start making those choices today. There is no tomorrow. And you have to stop. Hold on. I think I wrote that down. What future do you want is what we were just talking about. But what are you doing to make it happen? What steps are you taking? Are you willing to do the hard stuff now so that you can have the favorable outcome later? Okay, it might take a little sacrifice, right? When you guys see me and I might go away for a little bit, right? And I might disappear for a little bit. I'm usually working on something or I'm taking me time. You also have to take time for you, right? If you're about to go crazy or you about to lose it, take time for you. Don't take too much time, but take enough time so that you can recharge and reset and then go back at it again. So one of the best pieces of advice I got, and I tell this story all the time after my car accident. One of the best pieces of advice I got was a 3-word phrase: what's your plan? And I've always had one, but You know, you have to revisit that plan every so often. And I revisit my plan every 5 years, right? I write a detailed plan, and then 5 years, right before the 5 years is up, I revisit it, reset, reload. What are you gonna do? Let's see what's in the chat. Eleanor says, yes, I'm doing what I can to take care of myself, as there is only one you. You can't press reset on your life, so it's how you respond to the struggle. And look, Eleanor, absolutely. And the thing you're going to find is that sometimes that struggle is going to be a little too hard for you to bear by yourself. Unfortunately, you guys, the other part is I always say about, the people in your life, but I had to tell this to one of my daughters that at some point you're going to go through life alone. You're going to have people in your life and you're going to be alone. It's just the way it is. You're going to have to walk roads by yourself sometimes. And that should be true. That should make sense, right? Because you were born by yourself. You're gonna leave this place by yourself. And when you find yourself alone, don't get discouraged. I don't want you to get discouraged when you find yourself alone through these times, through these decisions, through all this heartache and all this pain that you're going through, all these trials and all these tribulations. You are not alone, but you do have to learn to rely and depend on yourself. You do at some point have to be able to look within and have the intestinal fortitude to say, I'm going to push through despite being alone. That builds character. See, we all have to go through the fire. We all have to be tried in our own way and tested so that we hopefully come out the other side stronger, more polished. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? Everyone says facts. I've been on my own a lot of my childhood. Yeah. I mean, there are times you're just going to find that you're the only one dealing with your struggle. And I don't want you guys to get down when that happens. I don't want you guys to get upset. I don't want you guys to get discouraged. What I wanted to do is fuel the fire inside you to keep pushing on, doing what you got to do so that you can live your best life. All right, guys, I'm not going to hold you up, guys, any much longer. Any questions y'all got, any more comments that y'all have, put them in the chat right now. Thank you all for watching today. I want to say that thank you to all my guests today. I'm going to try to see if I can get everybody. Eleanor, thank you for being here. Neil, thank you for being here. Wanda, thank you for being here. Kiki, thank you for being here. Julie, thank you for being here. Karen, thank you for being here. Aaron, thank you for having showed up. Thank you for everybody who's watching. If you are watching and I didn't shout you out, go ahead and leave a comment down below. You'll get a shout out here in the audience. Also, I'll read your questions and stuff like that. Neil says, have a great night, bro. Yep, you too, man. Thank you, whatever. I just want y'all to know real quick before y'all tune out. I have a great video that I plan to have coming out Friday. A lot of you guys responded very favorably to that Keanu Reeves video I did. And a lot of people were like, some people were like, yo, I didn't know that Keanu went through all that. Yes, Keanu Reeves went through a lot of stuff in his life. And that kind of goes, see, all these subjects, they tie in together. See what I'm saying? So I make sure I do that on purpose because it's a thought process. It's a mentality. It's a lifestyle that you need to have the favorable outcomes you want to have, right? So this story that I have coming up on Friday, I want to start doing this regularly. You guys will see me come up with new stories and new situations regularly. I'm going to start getting to work on it tonight. I also have to do another fitness video that I want to get out between today and tomorrow. I have to figure it out. I have a lot of work to do between tonight and tomorrow. The script is already written. But I have this gentleman that I want to talk to you guys about, and I hope it's a very heartwarming and touching story. So expect that to be out Friday. Expect that story to be out Friday, okay? So anybody, let's see what else we got. So that's my life. I have a less common disability. It doesn't stop me, though. I am pushing barriers every day. That's right, Eleanor. Keep pushing through. Wanda says you're never alone. It's those times you need to truly exercise your faith in God. Absolutely. But look, I always tell people when they say, that have faith, right? Faith is an action-based scenario, right? It's good to believe, but your actions dictate your faith. If you believe in what you're saying, then your actions should solidify your faith. What I mean by that is that if you believe in something strongly, you're going to act as if it's already happened. or that it's already taken place. So you have an active faith, not a passive faith, not waiting and believing. Do it as if it's been given to you, because all power is within you. Okay, Wanda? That's the way I look at it. You can agree or disagree, but the scripture backs up what I'm saying, right? Have an active faith, right? Aaron says, glad I was able to see you, love you, or see you, love, miss you. Yes, I miss y'all too. We gotta talk soon. We gotta get back together soon. I'll probably see what y'all doing this weekend. Like I said, I gotta work on some things for the next couple of days. I gotta work on those videos. My sleep schedule's been all over the place. I've been waking up a little later than I like to, and I don't know what that's about. The weather's kind of changing, and so once it starts getting cooler, um, I'll appreciate that more. But right now, I love it when it's cold. That's just me. And it's getting chilly, but it's not quite there yet. So once it gets there, I'll be much happier. Right? I don't like snow, but I like cold. Okay, because you could dress up for cold. You can only take off so much for heat, and then they arrest you. Okay, I'm tired of getting arrested for being naked around here. Okay. Anyway, anyway, thank you guys for showing up. Love you guys. Y'all have a great week. I hope to talk to some of you guys soon. And remember, as always, live your best life.